my arrow. Is that red on it? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I did hit him. I hit him. I hit him. When I was a child, Dad's bedtime stories were full of his wild and crazy adventures chasing mule deer in the high country. Most were set in familiar areas to me like Copper Basin or Trail Creek, but occasionally Wyoming was brought into the lineup. When Dad spoke of Wyoming, it was always with excitement and reverence. To me, living in the high desert of Idaho, this place he talked about seemed like a different world. A place with lush, flower-covered basins and huge canyons filled with deer and some with funny names like Popeye and Morty. Visiting this mystical place had always been a dream of mine. Over the years, we've had several opportunities to hunt Wyoming, but this year marked a full circle moment. Dad and I are both proud residents of Wyoming. Dad has more gray hair and I have a family of my own, but our special father-son bond is strong as ever. With the Wyoming mountains out our back door, we now have the opportunity to relive those bedtime stories every fall. And this season brought a week-long backcountry hunt we will never forget. To start off the season, we planned to visit a location I had not seen recently and one Dad had not returned to in 30 years. It was the very first spot he had hunted as a young man. As we scouted, we located a few good target bucks in the area, and the extreme terrain and high elevation promised to make this hunt very difficult. But our hopes were high we would have a chance to arrow one of them. Our excitement only grew as the season opener approached. Opening morning, we rode up to the saddle above the lake. Needless to say, it was pretty extreme. We then worked our way across to the two basins where the target bucks were located. As the sun peeked over the ridge and we had settled into our glass, we started picking up deer. On a far knob, we found a bachelor group of bucks, with luckily one of the target bucks in there. Oh geez, that one's got kickers. That's the hook cheater buck. That's them. That's their group. So it didn't take Dad and I very long to definitely confirm that this was one of the target bucks that we were after. It's pretty easy to see on that left side, he's got an 8-inch cheater that's in a hook formation. So we ended up calling him the hook cheater buck or hook. He's a very, very good buck there. And we were able to watch them the whole time into their first bed. They worked their way up with that 3-point, and him worked their way up the knob and ended up bedding just off the top of that knob on the just about 50 yards off the top, which was a good stalking area for us. So Dad and I parted ways. I dropped off that really nasty mountain there and came around and was hoping that the wind was right on the knob. Luckily it was. And I was able to crest the top there and drop over and get within range. So the 3-point spooked. The big buck stood up. I drew as he stood up. And actually, I felt pretty good about the shot. It was at 50. And I executed good, but I think he was already alert because of that other buck, and the 3-point snorted before I shot. And I just think all of those factors, that bigger deer never saw me. But when that bow went off, he took off, and I was hoping that arrow would get there before him. Well, I just ran into some guys that are hunting the same buck. Unfortunately, he's a little bit spooked right now. We had an arrow whizzing by him this morning, but oh well. Shake it off. Get back on the horse. Okay, so I found him again. because there's bucks above him. We'll see how it goes. In the process of me coming in, stalking in, he moved mid trees there and was staring right at me in the shade. So as soon as I stood up to kind of look and locate him, he had me pegged. Ups and downs of bow hunting, man. Holy crap. You can go from highest highs to lowest lows. So in bow hunting, it definitely hurts to do the walk of shame. But not only that, I ended up dropping my release at the stock way back at the beginning. So I had to hike clear back over there, grab it, and do a second walk of shame back up to where Dad was. It hurt pretty bad, especially on day one. But there's a ton of little tiny worms, like nasty looking things. So I think I'll just go thirsty until I get back. I made my way back to the top. Dad was excited to tell me a story about the standoff he had had earlier that day with a squirrel. Kayla had made us some banana bread to take on the hunt, and we treasured that little piece of home, packing it with us everywhere. After our morning breakfast, Dad had left the prized banana bread out and walked down to the shade to take a nap. He said that halfway through his nap, he remembered and turned to see a squirrel looking in the direction of the banana bread. They both eyed each other up and ran for it. But Dad luckily was able to save it before he could dig into it too much. But we headed back down the trail, glassed a little bit on the way, and got ready for the next day. It was a really eventful morning, actually. We saw some bucks over on that hillside that I had stalked that other buck yesterday. We didn't see the hook cheater buck or the big wide one, but that's okay. And then we did see kind of over to the north on a big open mountain, we saw 5 bucks. It's either 5 or 6 bucks, 4 or 5. But yeah, one really nice 4-point, really cool, but not a shooter. They were in the sun. It was really neat. So, but anyways, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go hike up to the top of that mountain. We're gonna cut across over to that peak over there, and we're gonna glass. There's a big basin over that way, and then there's 2 draws and then another basin over here. So man, he's nice, bro. So after sitting and looking at that deer for probably 10 minutes, we decided to make a stalk on it together. It was so fun. We snuck in there really close, worked our way down the ridge. We're glassing him, and it was hard because he was facing away. Really wide buck, nice backs, but we just couldn't tell what he was for sure on the fronts. So we were going to get within range, and if he was a shooter, we were going to shoot him. So Dad, as you can see here, he's stalking in with his socks. Ended up getting to 18 yards to this buck, right, just right on top of him. And then I snuck in behind him. We were both standing there at 18 yards. That buck was just snoozing, and then we had a little conversation on, hey, are we going to shoot it? What are we going to do here? And that buck heard us. Decided that wasn't a buck that we wanted, but it was sure a lot of fun to share that stock together, and either one of us could have killed that deer right there. What was he at, 20?
He was 20 yards.
20 yards. So Dad got snuck in here. I was over there. And then we both came over.
Snuck in, I passed on a buck. I probably should have shot him.
He's a dang nice buck, but he got the whole season. So we had a laugh about the conversation we had at 18 yards with that buck. And we say 20 in the film, but it actually was 18. But we were sitting there talking to each other, deciding, are we going to shoot it or are we not? And I said, Dad, are you going to shoot it? And he goes 50-50. And we both laughed so hard because, you know, anyways, it was fun. And then we worked our way to the east on that ridge line, and we're picking up bucks in those tree shadows all the way down. Super fun to be able to see that many deer and that good of quality of bucks. You know, none of them were shooters, but it was really awesome to see a bunch of 4 points and, you know, nice mature deer. We worked our way all the way over to a really awesome kind of master vantage point that we had wanted to get to. And we could see pretty much every basin that we were going to be hunting for the next little while. And what an amazing view. The rugged country that he had talked about and told me when I was a kid, that's what it was.
You know what? Everything tastes better at 10,000 feet. Mm-hmm. So what do you think?
So it's nap time. There's a buck getting ready to bed down. I just kicked this buck bed out. It'd take like an hour nap. And we're going to go to glassing. We're just going to sit and glass the evening. We'll see what we can find. We were picking up a bunch of bucks as we were coming over in the shadows of those trees, which was really fun. So we just saw the big 4 point. And I about passed out. He is huge. Just like giant. Yeah. He's you're not kidding. What? Oh, you're looking at us. I thought we were looking. No, it's recording now.
You see why I was able to pass on that other deer. Two-legged deer trip.
Right. Well, we made it back to camp. Trying to figure out what we want to do tomorrow. The days just keep getting better and better.
Yep. Today's kill day. We're gonna put that out there. Right. What? Today's kill day. Yeah.
What we're going to do now is we're going to head over to where we were yesterday. See if we can pick some bucks up in their beds and maybe find a big one.
Okay, so the plan is I'm going to go over to that ridge over there, look down and see if there's any bucks. And we were I don't think I have service, so we were trying to like figure out how to communicate. And what we decided was, if it's a big typical,
it's this.
Okay.
If it's a big non-typical, it's this. If it's just a wimpy deer but you want to shoot it anyway, it's this.
Oh, never mind, he's not big.
I gotta conserve some of it.
Oh yeah, I got it. Do you want some?
Yeah.
It's not the... It's triactin.
It's even better.
You had triactin?
No, not. Well, I've been taking it. Yeah.
Yeah, so Dad's up there. I came around here and I'm gonna glass down into this because you can't see those cliffs from up there. See if we can get embedded. This is where that big buck was, so. Well, I'm gonna work my way back while there's still some light. I watched that basin for a while. Can you tell?
No.
Barely see.
Getting too dark.
Yeah, I know.
But you did see the cheater on the
Oh,
right
yeah.
side?
For sure.
Well, we have not seen any other bucks 4 points with cheaters.
Yeah.
And I think in the shadow I could see that little hook on the left side. And his frame looks this similar.
Mm-hmm.
Because pretty sure that we found the hook cheater buck again. Oh, I got those bucks spotted. I'm just moving to a better position. Okay, so I think I've got a pretty good plan. I don't know where they bedded for sure, but I have a pretty good feeling of where it might be because from where I last saw them, there's kind of a trail that it looked like they were headed on. And I have searched every tree that's around. Wait a second. Oh, it's just a white rock. Anyways, I've searched every single tree. But there's a group of a big patch of trees that's kind of, I'm just assuming that that's where they're at. They could be around the other side, but based on what he did last night, he's gonna come. There's a good bunch of feed that they like, and there's a bed above that he loves. So I'm gonna sit here and watch through the 10 o'clock bed change, and then if I don't pick them up about 2 o'clock, I'm gonna go up and around, and I'm gonna get set up on that bed up above the feeding area, and then just wait, see what happens, see if he comes into that either the bed or the feeding area. It's all within range, so we'll see what happens.
So I sat there until dark, through the storm and through everything, but those bucks never came out into that feeding area. So I tried to sneak out of there without disrupting them, and then I had to hike back over the top of the mountain back to the lake where we had our base camp. Our camp doe. She likes hanging out with the horses. Here, do you want a pellet? Here you go. We got a couple more days left, so we'll keep giving it effort. See what we can find. And I located the hook cheater buck over on that far knob over there. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna get my pack all ready. And they're living in kind of like a really difficult bow spot, because there's kind of like dark timber on one side, and then they come feed on this face, but the wind swirls because it's kind of a western. It's a weird bowl, and that's probably why they like it. The wind swirls around in there a ton. So anyways, if they get in the right spot, we'll put a stock on them, and it's good to see them again. Saw them yesterday morning, and then went over there and tried to ambush them. It didn't work out, so at least I didn't spook them out of the country, which is nice. I'm gonna try and run over here. They went over a little ridge. See if I can catch them bedding. We'll see. See what we can see. Okay. Well, so I came over and got up on top there. Dad was actually just down below me. But kind of saw where those deer went in. I saw one of them bed, so I have a little bit of an idea where they're at. So we'll see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go around, hopefully catch them as they get into their second bed. I'm just going to go up on top and see what happens. It's not a very stockable bed, first bed, but maybe if they move around. Yes! Okay, so I snuck up over here, came down, and was set up here, ranged down to that bed, which is where he was at 50. I was sitting here, got everything dialed, was ready, and the wind, like up on this big knob, kind of like swirls, and it swirled right down there to him. And I was down low enough that I could just see over the top of that log right there. And I saw his antlers come up, and then he did this, and I was like, uh-oh. So when he turned, I drew, and I ranged, I was already ready to go. I drew, settled that pin, and he turned and looked at me. and I let it go. But similar to the story last time, he jumped as soon as it went off, so I don't know. Well, gosh dang it. Stinking tracks. I don't see any blood. Well, there's my arrow. Is that red on it? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I did hit him. I hit him. The arrow, no joke, that's how it stuck. Like, I didn't do that. So it went through that deer and then stuck in the ground. But I'm still nervous about that with him jumping. Like, I hate shooting them when they're aware of me. But sometimes, like, it just happens and they always lunge forward. So I'm a little nervous about that. I mean, I did hit him. I'm gonna go back up and look around and see if there's any blood around or what, but yeah. I just hope I hit him good. Okay. I am so excited now. There for a second I was nervous, but because that arrow just didn't look super awesome. But I'm following his tracks, and like, as you can see, it's not gonna be hard to find him. I came and got the pack, and man, there is no way, unless you have a cameraman, this solo stuff filming, I mean, for one, it's that caliber of a buck, I'm not even trying to film it, the kill shot, unless like it's super calm, chill, I got tons of time, maybe. But these caliber of deer, man, I'm just not gonna have a kill shot. Hey, I killed the hook cheater buck. I killed him.
Is this the big one?
Yeah. No shrinkage on him. Holy smokes. Wow. Goodness gracious. Got it. Yeah, baby. Yes. So once I got the buck all propped up and got looking at him, I just was in awe of how massive and how deep forks he has, and that big hook cheater on the one side and the double kickers on the other. Just a truly massive, huge Wyoming buck, and I couldn't be more happy. I was really excited to get Dad over there too, and sent him a message quickly, and he responded with, I'm headed that way. You know, these things only happen a few times in your life. If you're lucky, more than that. But just, I don't know, I'm just taking it in, overlooking this beautiful high country, you know. And I did, you know, yeah, just, it's awesome. Amazing thing that happened today. I know that God has a hand in this for sure, because I've been praying constantly just to, you know, have the strength to keep going, not necessarily to kill the biggest buck on the mountain, but just to keep going. shade him up for a little bit. Dad's on his way. I just don't want him to get too hot, so we'll get some pictures when he comes. He should be here within about 20 minutes or so. Well, that is stinking cool. Oh, double cheers on this side. Yeah. Okay, well, got him all cleaned up. Got the head, the cape, bone meat. There's some more down behind this tree. And anyways, gonna load up. I gotta go to the top of that mountain and over. So it's gonna be a hike, but sure worth it. It was awesome to have Dad come over. He is a stud.
Hey, that guy is so cool.
Yeah, did you see him?
I can't stop looking at the picture. I look at it like every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
He's even better in person. But
Is he?
yeah, we
Which
made
is
it.
pretty cool.
Yeah, we made it to the top, so we're headed back to the camp
Oh,
now.
you're breaking up. What's up?
We're headed back to camp now.
Awesome. Okay, well, what's
Okay.
the plan?
Probably just come out in the morning. We'll probably come out and then I'll come help Dad.
Yeah, good call.
Hey,
We'll just,
hi Kayla.
Hi. I'm so stoked. That's so cool. I want to hear the story. Do you have time or no?
the brief version is it took 4 days.
Right.
I'm ordering some rubber tips for these poles.
Oh, yeah. Good idea.
Quiet them.
So we're not. Well, we're almost back to camp. It's been a fun hunt, hasn't it? It's been awesome. It's epic. So, plan is we're gonna get packed up, and then we'll be coming back somewhere here soon. And I'll be helping Dad, and we'll be killing another big deer. It'll be lots of fun. So, but this has been a pretty awesome adventure for us. I see many more hunts ahead of us in the Wyoming backcountry, hunting big mule deer with our bows, but this one was special. So special, in fact, that it could just end up being a bedtime story for my own boys. Well, we made it back. 2025. Wyoming high country archery in the books.